Hey guys, Felipe Vieira here, Dev Frontier and Serger with over 16 years in the field, okay? And today I'm going to show you the model that was recently released, okay? The DeepSeek, which for coding is performing better than the top of the line model. The one we use, which is the cloud, okay? I'll show you a little bit of how it works, okay? How we can integrate this with BoltD to use it on our computer without y'all spending any money, okay? I will show the pros and cons of this approach. And there's also a way to use it directly with their key by paying per use. Okay. So let's go. So folks, here we are on the Bolt page. Okay. I have a video here on the channel. Okay. I'll leave it here in the card. How to do the installation. Everything else I'll go over roughly how it's done. Okay. Basically, for those who already have the project, what I advise is to download it again and use a different folder. Okay. To avoid errors and to prevent dependency conflict errors. Okay. Because that's happening a lot. Okay. So what we're going to do is you can come here, look, click on code, download zip, then extract it to a specific folder. All right. Then what you're going to do is open it in your IDE. It can be the Cursor. It doesn't matter. Visual Studio. Okay. Right. With that already open, you will do, to be able to run this on our computer locally, we will need to install Ollama. Okay. Okay. This guy here, we download this guy here. It's a normal installation. Okay. After installing Ollama, it will open right at the bottom near your clock. If it's Windows, the icon of a little sheep. If you click on it, you'll see that it's running. Okay. Then what you're going to do, you're going to open the terminal. Okay. Then you will type Ollama. If you type Ollama, this will appear. Want to see? I'll type it just for you to see. It has to show this. See, these are the shortcuts for Ollama. Okay. This means it's running. With it running, we will look for the LLM language that we will use, which is DeepSeek. Okay. So folks, it will depend a lot on the space and configuration of your PC. Okay. A good approach, a good result is here, starting from 14 billion. Okay. 8 billion is nice, but not that much. Starting from 14 billion, it's nice. Okay. But as we increase its context, it gets slower. We need a better machine and everything else here for testing. I will use the AB, okay? Here, you choose on the left side which one you want and click here to copy, okay? Copy. Just paste it here in your browser. This command you see that we copied back there. It will download this to your PC and will launch. It's up, that's it. It will minimize here. It's already running there in your Ollama. There you go. Great. We will go back to Bolt, okay, to the cursor. Where we have our Bolt, we will run a Docker build. These guys here. If you want to get them, they're in the readme.md. Okay. We will run this command first. Okay. If you don't have Docker installed, just search for Docker on Google. Okay. Find it for your operating system, Windows, Mac. Everything else is just next, finish. It will install and will keep running on your computer, right? A little program will open there, also near the clock. Once installed, you will run the Docker build, like this one here. It will do it, download the containers, do everything needed, right? And after it's finished, you will run a Docker compose, profile development, up, okay? So we will run this one here, look. Okay. And then let me just get out of here because this is the build. I've already done the build. Okay. We will run a compose, okay? Compose to bring it up. Okay. So what will it do? It will bring up our Bolt. Okay. You have to wait a little bit the first time. It might take up to a minute to bring it up. Okay. But it should come up without issues. And I want to zoom in here for you. See, I think mine is already running in another terminal just to confirm, okay? And he will open the URL, okay? I'll have to close here. Just to really show you this, I was running here, look. In another car, you will only see that it came out of here. It's an extension that I have from Docker that I installed here. Can you install it if you want, but it's not necessary. Okay, we're going to do this so it runs properly. You see, it will tell you that it's running. Then you will only be able to access it. When it sends you a URL, it will send you a URL that is running. Right? Seeing this localhost 5D173, okay? Press Control, click. Here you will open the localhost, this guy here. So what happens here? This is one of the things that people often get lost with. Okay. And they can't use the local setup because many people keep copying other people's tutorials and they don't understand how the configuration part of Bolt works in the Docker container section. Here's the thing. If it doesn't show up for you, by clicking Ollama, listing everything you've already downloaded from LM on your machine, you see Ollama, you will see here now what it's doing. Refresh. Wait for it to load. Here it is, you see. It loaded. Looking here, it already cleared my things. Now it appeared. Great. We are going to go here in settings. There are providers down below. There will be Ollama. We will if you haven't changed anything. The configuration for Ollama is this URL that you will put in Ollama. Okay, you will click here on Ollama, put this address, done, refresh. It will appear here. Okay, we are using Psych8B. Okay, Ollama, we are going to say create a landing page for selling a course using Next.js with a dark theme. Great. Then we are going to run it. Okay. So what happens in our terminal? If we have started the server directly through the terminal, it will appear here. Everything it is doing, everything it is consuming, you can see the tokens and everything else if we open it as well. Our rate manager, we will see here in mine. It is running at 30% on my dedicated GPU that I have. My RTX 4070 is running at 33% on my GPU, integrated with my hardware. Okay, so it is dividing. It is running everything. I don't know why. It must be because it is not specifically programmed. Okay, because I have an NPU, right? It should run on the dedicated NPU, which is the specific hardware for calculating these artificial intelligence tasks. Okay. So as it is dividing between the dedicated and my other one, you see it's a bit slow even. When we are using the 8B, it's in context. Leave the terminal so you don't complain about anything. Not 5 gigabytes. There, made the post all right. It has already loaded something. So folks, as people say, but you can't do it locally because the quality is low. With DeepSeek, we see that the quality is very good. The 8B one is not that much. We will have higher quality with their top of the line, which I will also show you here. But you can easily do your themes here. The only thing you will need is a bit more patience. Because as you can see, it's spitting out the words there. You see it slow, word by word. Basically, you understand. It's not stanzas and everything else like it works when we make the payment, right? And get the faster version of each LLM, okay? While it's running, what are we going to do? I will show you, before getting into DeepSeek, I will show you more or less the quality of DeepSeek. Here, we have several benchmarks that are on the DeepSeek website. We have some LLMs We have Cloud 3.5, which is what people use for code, which is the coolest that Bolt uses. So we see here some parameters. You can see that compared to DeepSeek V3, which is the latest release, it beats GPT-4 Wow and Cloud 3.5. See? It wins in all, see? The difference in some is a bit larger only in this simple QA. It scored less. See this one? Also, in the frames long bench, the code part is showing 8240 against 81 against 36 against 3220. Here it scored 51 on Code Forces. Here, Stub was a bit behind. Here it was also a bit behind, and here it won. So we see that it tends to be a bit better than the cloud source that we use. For us to use it, we will have to do the registration. We'll log in to DeepSeek, which is similar to all the APIs we use, OpenAI and so on. Performing cloud verification. All right. I haven't added a credit here yet. I need to put billing, where I register my billing, APKs, no usage. The price will show how much it is, and then per personal token, it is cheaper. Is it cheaper than the cloud or the beacon? If we look at the prices, I don't know if it has the comparison here with the others. It doesn't have. Later, I'll see if I can bring it to you. Okay. I've already looked into it. It is cheaper. To see how it is there, the generation is still generating, you see. It's a bit slow, right? Guys, but it works. Let me just pause here to get the URL, then to make the payment, okay? I've already made the payment here. Okay. Just click here on top up. Okay. I put in $2 there. We are going to do it. We are going to generate a key for us. Okay. I'll generate here. Key, go. And test. Okay. Great. We are going to copy it and we are going to go back to Bolt here. It's running still is. We are going to settings there. I want to register this key. I don't know if it's possible from here. Reflect. I'll get it from you. Finish here. I don't want to cut. See if you didn't make mistakes. No. I'm just going to open the Anthropic cloud here just for us to generate its mockup. It's also okay. Compare cost and compare quality. Okay. So you can run it locally. It takes time. The quality depends a lot on the number of tokens you put there. That opened AWS. My dear, AWS appears before the cloud. How amazing, folks. Isn't it nice to have money, right? Just pause it while it's running. All right, folks, I got it. I generated one here from Anthropic. Okay. Here it finishes. No, but it gave a small error during the preview. Okay. So I would need to tell it to fix the errors it found and everything, but you can see it's a bit slow. See that it didn't do much. If we look at the code here, it didn't do much. This happens for two reasons. The context of the LLM, which is low, and our prompt, which is small. We need to be a bit more specific with the prompt. The more specific it is, the less context the LLM has. I released my last video. I show you my own prompt. And if you want to have access to the prompt, just join the members community here. Okay? It has already been opened with member age. In it, people will have access to exclusive content. Discount on my course. Okay, course. I have already finalized its syllabus, and I will leave it here in the comments for you to see everything that will be in the course, divided by modules, so you can purchase only the modules you want. You don't need the entire course. And those who answered the survey I sent will get a 50% discount on the purchase of the complete module, okay? Which includes all the modules, all right? Probably by the end of this month, I will launch the page for you to see everything clearly and make the purchase, okay? And also who has acquired the course will also have access to my prompts. Everything clear, all right? So let's test now. Let's compare the models, the top of the line model of each one. Let's go back here to Bolt.di and let's use the same prompt. Yeah, I wanted a few things. Create a landing page for course sales. I saw a big opportunity for the course sales in code, no code. This will be the prompt I will use for all. All right. So that's what we're going to do. Let me just save the prompt here so we don't lose it, and then we'll choose what we're going to do. In Anthropic, indeed, first Cloud Solid, which is the most robust of them, this one here is pulling from, look, pay attention to the speed. You see how much faster it is, because this one here has the largest context they have, and it's running directly from the cloud. You see it's not running locally at all. And if we look here, I'll show you how much this first prompt cost. Let's see if it's running. It is. So you can get an idea of the cost. There are some small animations I saw using motion.div. It's doing npm install to install the dependencies. Refresh to see if it shows us how much the whole thing cost. Doing a preview for us. All right. A little animation. Starting now, all right. It didn't turn out bad, not at all. Now here it opens, right? It opens previews on mobile. Let's see. Mobile beauty. Let's just copy here. Just so we have a comparison guide for what DeepSeek will run. Okay. I'll go back here, click here. We will run the same prompt, but using DeepSeek, okay? As well, people are doing a lot of merging between DeepSeek and other prompts. I'll do a plus, you know? I can bring it up if you want me to talk more about it, because there's also a whole path of programming, right? We use N8N make there to integrate various AIs and do things that we need to do or that we want, you know. Create agents, create artificial intelligences that perform various steps. Like, oh, I wanted to create a blog post from a sentence, and this blog post generates images for it. And these images make a video. We can do this as if it were an API in a no-code way. Doing this as a service, we can use it on a web page where we are selling this service. You see, it's really cool, folks. So let's get into DeepSeek, DeepSeek Coder. It's not this guy, it's my prompt. Copy prompt. All right. Here. Enter. It will definitely hit our key. There. Now, while it's running, then let's see. Oh, the cost. Here it is. You see, where is it? That I can see a more specific cost. 7,000 tokens, right? Let me see. Let me pause here just to look for. All right, folks, you have to go into cost here, okay? So we see that the prompt we used was 600. Okay. One of the things that optimizes is that it gave an error. You see, I'll ask Bolt to fix it. One thing that also minimizes token expenditure, we go to features here and set this use context optimization, okay? It tends to spend less token, all right? It's trying to make the correction. But it used something called Astro. Here, we will see what he said about this star. At the Astro point. But let's see how the end turned out, right? Let's check the package. Astro. Beauty. If you look here, and it did the creation, which is from the Astro. They're saying you're going to win, secure your spot. If we go to the cloud, slowly here from the cloud, it got better. Let's just see how much it spent on DeepSeek. Right here. And it marked but didn't spend 1 cent. Is that it? 1 cent? And the Astro spent 6, right? Let me just change here to the reasoner to see. And I do it with the next to make it the same, right? I just changed from code to reasoner just to see if there's much difference, okay? Well, folks, we're done here, okay? The DeepSeek with the reasoner. The reasoner is a bit better in the results, okay? Than what we were using there, the coder. What did it generate for us? You see it generated this guy here. Look, master in the coder, you see it turned out really nice, a little animation. It even sends a refresh to see if it has more animations. Added a little footer, got the date wrong, right? 23. What? A little animation in English, right? I should have set it to Portuguese. Let's see here that the mobile, right? I'm going here to see if it's mobile first, to see if it looks right on mobile too. Okay, I believe it will. From what I could notice with the use, okay. Locally, I think it would be a good opportunity. And it ate a little bit here, right? Historically, it's responsive, it's nice. It's going back and it's locally. The opportunity people have is that you don't want to invest too much like that. Paying for the Cursor of Life or the Bolt, which are $20 a month, is to maintain at least a couple of cases. Then it can be from Anthropic. It's Anthropic. It's nice to have. And a second one which can be from DeepSeek or another GPT of your choice, and everything else. Because with Bolt, you can edit it here normally in the code, right? You can download your code here to your PC, and you can work with the cursor within your PC, and then upload it back here and continue working. Understood. With Bolt Web, we still can't do it even with Lovable and everything else, and with more than one LLM. We can be as assertive as possible, because if we see that the sonnet there in Cloud is struggling a lot, to make corrections, we can use the reasoner, for example, from DeepSeek to make the correction and then go back to the Cloud or vice versa. The reasoner, from what I've seen, is similar to the theme of GPT-4 which it has, first it thinks about how it will do it. For example, you say, I want a landing page. It says, okay, what is a landing page? A landing page is blah, blah, blah. It talks to itself. A landing page is this. An ideal sales landing page needs to have these sections. Each section, this first one will have this text, this title, blah, blah. It talks to itself. After it has all this summary ready, then it moves on to the coding part. Okay. Or does it go to the part where you asked what you want it to bring you? Okay. It's similar to what the forum does today. The GPT is okay. So can you guys do these tests there? And if we look at the cost, I use DeepSeek relatively a lot. Here it is. No, I did the first prompt for everything. It made some small mistakes there because I didn't define the architecture, didn't define the folder model. I just told it to do something and that was it, you know. I had to make some corrections, some fixes, so it wasn't a small prompt. Okay. So if we look here, we spent 10 cents and it made a basically ready to go web page, man. The only thing we would need to do here is integrate with our payment gateway to process payments here, but it's mobile first. We will change the titles. Visually, it's nice, right? So with 10 cents, we managed to run this thing. On Anthropic, that other one cost, I think 6, right? Here it was 159. So if we look at the difference, especially in bug fixing, if we use the cloud, right, which is a bit more expensive than DeepSeek, you can see that here, even with the bug, it cost very little. There, the first prompt we made cost 600 and it turned out quite nice. It was a somewhat generic page, but it was nice for the first one, right? And it was 600. But then I asked it to update some things. It started giving some errors. Then it fixes and goes back and forth. Since the fixes aren't optimized, right? It redoes the entire file. It's not like a new Bolt, right? From the web, where it only changes the parts it wants to save context, right? You see that it spends a little more, but even so, 159 is not so high. Okay, so if you're going to make a system just until you reach $20, which is the Bolt subscription, the cursor, I believe you will do many things, especially if you use the DeepSeek Seek, okay? According to my calculations here, from what I tested, okay, with this example and other examples, I still think that Bolt.new, the web version, is the version that provides the most quality along with Lovo. Actually, Lovo's a little better, okay? So theoretically, Lovo, I put more quality and Bolt.new right after. Then we have greater control with BoltD on our machines. And of LLM, I liked it a lot. I still, even though they say that DeepSeek is a bit better, I still tend to stick with Cloud, okay? I think Cloud is a bit better. The DeepSeek takes longer, even because of how it processes the LLM thinking, so it takes longer to generate results, and sometimes it gives a little error, okay? And if you ask it to correct something, it takes a little longer, so it requires a bit more time to do that. The Cloud is a little faster, okay? And it tends to deliver results as good as the DeepSeek, okay? So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you tested on your machine. Leave comments. If you couldn't, do you have any questions? Just reminding you about my course. It will be released, okay? I will leave the course email here. Comment there. If you want to see any topic that I haven't included there, okay, because I will finalize the modules and start recording the content for you. And if you like the video, share it with friends. Also give it a like. If you didn't like it, you can also give it a dislike. Also leave your comments here. Suggestions for videos you want to see. If you also want me to bring content about N8N with automations using Make. Automations chaining artificial intelligence, audio generation by artificial intelligence, video generation, photo generation. Comment here as well, and I'll bring it to you, okay? That's it for now. Thanks, everyone.